The last call. Let me go to Linda, I think it is, in Minnesota. Hi, Linda.
Hi, Adya. Thanks for taking my call.
You're welcome.
So I did not take the course, and so just being introduced to this, and there is something really powerful in that you said earlier this evening about choosing. So here's my question: how to change an orientating principle that you don't like? That I just find this an extremely shameful inquiry.
Yeah.
And so I get tripped up really quickly.
Yeah.
And, years of therapy later, you sort of know. But I, for some reason, had the mistaken belief that I could choose how I oriented my life.
Yeah. I hear what you're saying. Right. Yeah.
And I feel like you've ripped off some sort of bandage here.
Yeah.
And something else is being revealed, and I don't like it.
Yeah, I understand. Because that's often what happens, because the flip side of this is, it is common when, we look and we go, wow, look at what I'm actually valuing. Ooh, that hurts. I don't really want to see that. And boy, I can tell you, if somebody hasn't seen that inside, then they haven't looked very close. Because everybody's going to find that somewhere in themselves where they have something they're valuing, something that's orienting their life and dictating attitude and behavior that is pretty humbling to acknowledge and sometimes pretty disappointing to acknowledge. And yet, what I found is when you do just start to be able to acknowledge it and go, okay, this has been running me. This has been something that somewhere in me I've been valuing, because a lot of my actions and even my own subjective experience of being seems to be an outcome of this orientation. Okay, now the reason I say okay is when you can really accept it. That doesn't mean you like it, but it means you're willing to go to notice, like, apparently that's part of me. And I'm going to accept that. I'm not going to just sit here and be horrified and judgmental, because those are all just versions of trying to push it away. Like, if I don't push it away, what I'm left with is, oh, apparently I'm like pretty much everybody else. I have my imperfections. Oh, okay. I'm willing to come down to the level of everybody else, where everybody has their imperfections. Only then, without making it wrong, then you can go, okay, this has been an orientation. Okay, how satisfying has that been for me? Without saying that it's right or wrong, just how has that worked out for me? What kind of experience of being has that been generating in me and during my life? What have I been getting from it? That's kind of what I mean when I say you just examine how has that been working out for me. Generally, we'll find with those kind of orientations, we'll kind of come up with, well, you know what? It's not really working out that well for me. It doesn't necessarily give me the deep and rich and beautiful experience of being that pretty much any human being wants. And then you can get all hung up there, right? Trying to change it and all sorts of stuff.
That's what I'm talking about.
Yeah, you can get all hung up there. The reason that I just spent the last few minutes just basically in different ways of acknowledging what's happening, because if you can just acknowledge it, then you can go, okay, and is that really the most important thing to me? It's there, but is it the most important thing? Is it the thing that I value the most when I sit here and in this reflective moment and ask myself again, what's really, what, not only sort of, what do you, it's not so much you want, but it's almost like, what would be an accurate if you were to translate your own most meaningful experiences of being, right? Because you have your moments where you feel just that are meaningful for you, where you feel like, yep, I feel good. This when I'm experiencing this, I feel on. I feel more aligned. I feel better than I feel better. I don't feel worse. Then that kind of experience of being. Now, what if I was? You ask yourself, what if I was to kind of translate that kind of experience into a kind of value? In those moments, when I see life that way, in my good moments, how do I see life? What am I valuing at that moment? Am I valuing joy? Am I valuing hate? Am I valuing togetherness? Am I valuing separation? Am I valuing, whatever it is, jealousy? Am I valuing unity? What am I valuing when I am in the deepest experience of being, most meaningful of experience of being that you know of? And when you're there, what are you valuing? You see what I mean?
I do.
What's important to you?
Go ahead.
That's it.
So, what is so shocking here is I've been sitting with you for 15 years. I would never have said that this is how I oriented my life.
Yeah.
And so there is some revelation in the input in that word, in the orientation, that phrase.
Yeah.
That took, for me, a really dark turn.
Yeah.
And because it's not what I would have said.
Of course, yeah.
And it has left me rattled on some level on which I think here's what I'm taking from what you're saying is I need to spend some time with inquiry.
Yeah.
On it's not a surprise given my history, but it is.
Yeah.
I would not have used it I would not have believed that's how I oriented my life.
Of course, I understand. I totally get it. And by the way, I would suggest of what you said to inquiry, to be with it. Yes, you're rattled right now, right? It's a little bit new, right?
Right.
And as you're with it more without judging it, I mean, sure, you're going to probably be in a state for a little bit where you're like, I still can't quite believe that this is the program. Yeah, this is what I've chose at some level, right? Almost an unconscious level, but I was choosing this nonetheless at some unconscious level. It's really humbling, and I understand it can be very disturbing, right?
Yes.
But as you look at it, your system, you will adjust. I mean, you will start to adjust, and with more time, you'll stop being so like a deer in a headlight, like, oh my God, I can't believe that. And just through familiarity, you'll be like, oh, okay, I don't feel like a deer caught in the headlights. I'm not so horrified by it. I'm still kind of surprised, but okay.
Yeah, well, it has a companion called shame that comes with it.
Yeah.
And so
yeah.
it holds it in that energy, and so it's just okay then.
Yeah. The shame is what holds it in place.
Different choice.
That's right. You can. That's the difference when you do something like this. What it restores to you is, oh, this happened on automatic. This was a choice I didn't even know I was making. But now that I see that that's what I was doing, now that it's become conscious, now I have options.
Mm.
I'm not stuck there anymore. I'm only stuck there if I don't know what's going on and it's all happening automatically and unconsciously. But the moment I recognize what's been happening, it opens up a new door. Oh, it's no longer just automatically happening now. Now I'm conscious of it. That means consciousness gives you options. Right? But I want to just, that thing you said about the shame, there's a reason that I emphasize our imperfectness, a lot. And it's not because I want to make someone feel bad at all. It's because I want, if we kind of take it in, we kind of go, oh, well, here's an example. Here it is. Here's something that we might call, relatively speaking, this is a kind of imperfectness. Oh, there it is. Oh, isn't that human to be driven by an impulse or a value that I didn't even know I was driven by? Isn't that just really, really human? And isn't that just the way it is for any of us until it isn't? And you can stop judging it so much,
One day.
You can stop one day, any day. Any day.
Any day.
But here, the key to getting past the judgment is and I'm not saying this is all of judgment, but a lot of judgment at an unconscious level, but nonetheless, a lot of judgment is a unconscious resistance to see that, whatever that is we're resisting, to see that within myself. And when I resist seeing something in myself that is there in myself, I feel terrible about it. I feel ashamed. I feel like I don't want anybody to find out. I feel like I wish I didn't even find out.
Yeah, right there.
Right?
Right.
But what I'm saying is that's created by the part of you that says, no, I'm not quite ready to really say, yeah, that was in me. You know what I mean? It's like I'm still going to feel really bad about it.
Yeah,
but the moment
I get the special card and all of that, but this is on a whole another level.
I know that I get it. I can feel like, I can feel what it is in you, and I really get that it's a very, very, very deep thing, and it came to you as a extreme surprise.
It did, actually.
Yeah.
Thanks for taking the call.
You're welcome. Nice to talk with you. Thanks for calling me. Okay. Bye-bye.